Hi everyone, I am Laz, the Power BI practice lead here at Adatis, and in this short video I want to take you through the data storytelling methodology. Now, traditionally when designing and developing reports we would follow a what do you want and how do you want to see it approach. Now, even though in some cases we do get reports that meet requirements, such an approach can mean missing some core elements required for a successful report, and it can also introduce a common set of issues as well. So this is really a shame. After all the time, the effort, the budget that we put into building a data platform, into selecting the right BI vendor application, into implementing the relevant governance and guardrails, preparing the data, designing the model, only to then ask, what do you want? So what are these common challenges? Well, the first one is reports with no business objective or purpose, right? So if a report does not have a clear objective or purpose, it's much more likely to not be used. So not having a clear purpose means not knowing our audience and also not knowing the business questions that must be answered through the solution as well. Another common issue that we find is not having KPIs, or maybe not having KPIs linked to business objectives. So in reality, KPIs allow us to answer the questions of, well, how are we doing and are we on track to achieving our business objective or our purpose? And without these KPIs, we really are missing a large chunk of what is required for a successful report. Another one is continuous or endless analysis, right? So not having a clear start and a clear end usually leads to our users maybe going through the solution, continuously analyzing the information, and even then going ahead and exporting the data out, maybe into Excel, and further continuing their analysis somewhere else. And another common challenge that we find is not promoting actions or not having an actionable solution, right? So apart from a report or a solution answering the question, how are we doing through the KPIs, it should also assist us in answering, well, how did we get into this position? But more importantly, what could we do next as well? Now, how does this assessment help? Well, firstly, it ensures that we identify and collect requirements from the correct audience group, and that there sets us up for success right from the beginning. Apart from that, it also helps by ensuring we derive the correct KPIs that are linked to a business objective or purpose, which also assists in understanding or measuring the return on investment as well. It also ensures our report answers the core elements of how are we doing, right? How did we get into this position and what could we possibly do next? Therefore, increasing the overall chances of usage and adoption. And lastly, this methodology allows us to ask the right questions throughout the gathering of requirements, therefore offers tailored questions to ask at different sections to collect the relevant pieces of information as well. To finish up, I will briefly touch upon the phases that we explore when carrying out this methodology. So it is a 3-phase methodology. We do have some review and planning stages in between. So with that said, we start off with a planning session, and some of the things that we do in here is ensure that we align on what we're trying to achieve, who should be involved, and also who is the core audience, in other words, the people that will be using the report. We then move on to the first phase, really, which is derive story. Now, this is where we facilitate an interactive workshop where we go through a storyboard template and we ask a set of tailored questions to collect the information that will bring the story to life. So we will be going through what is the purpose, what are the KPIs, if a KPI is in the red, how did we get into this position, and what could we possibly do next? In other words, what action can we take to try and reverse that KPI around? We then have a review stage, right? And this is where we have another catch up to ensure that we are all happy and we are aligned on the story that will be implemented in the end solution. We then move on to design report, and really, as the name suggests here, this is now where we go away on the back of that storyboard session, and we create a set of mock-ups or wireframes in order to show the audience or offer the audience a bit more of a look and feel of what the end solution would look like as well. Once again, we do go through a review, and this is really to ensure that we're all happy with the look and feel and we get sign off before moving to the next phase. And lastly, we then move on to build report, which, if all other stages went well and successfully, really the build report, the development side of things, should be a lot smoother and a lot quicker. After all, we have the story, we have a template or a blueprint to follow. It's just about now building it in Power BI as well. So hopefully that gives you an overview of the data storytelling methodology. If you have any other questions, please do feel free to reach out. Thank you.